What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with Love After Lockup, Season 7, Episode 15, Kick Rocks. Because I felt like everybody should have kicked rocks. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. Shout out to everybody who have watched the interview, the replay gang, everybody who was live in the interview. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to go to Peacock and watch Girls Need Love. Kaja Renee Mapp is one of the stars of the show. That's who myself and Black Girls Den we interviewed on this Friday night. Make sure y'all go around there to check out the interview. It was a good time, y'all. It was a good time. That was my very first interview. It won't be the last, but it was my first. So yes, okay. Thank y'all so much. I am appreciative. I love y'all. I'm just elated. So yeah. Your girl is doing the things. Okay, thank you. No, for real. Also, I'm still on the road to 1K. So, y'all, if we want to get me up there. And last but most certainly not least, your girl finally got her eyebrows waxed. Okay, shout out to the wax lady because I've been too lazy to go over there. I mean, when I tell y'all I be tired and it is 104 out here in Dallas, I be like, This can't be the sun we played in when we was kids. Like, literally can go to hell. And when I tell you, I feel like a totally different person. That's all I wanted to say. That was your church announcement. So please act accordingly. Okay. Now that I have gotten my first interview, okay, I have a reputation to uphold, and so we still gonna be ghetto as fuck around here. Okay. All right. Love After Lockup. Especially with, first of all, this. And this is Polly. We gonna be real ghetto. So anyway, Damon and Bonita. Because this was definitely Damon and Bonita centered. We didn't get nothing. Well, we didn't get what's her name? We didn't get no Gigi. That was more like last week. But it's going to be a mess next week. And don't forget to check out the panel, myself, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, over on Mrs. Best channel. We did yesterday. And Tamika's Den came in and joined us. So that was a good kiki. We had a good time. Make sure y'all subscribe to each of those channels. Okay. So anyway, the episode starts with the mind. Y'all know he done been out 4 days. FOE. He been out 4 days and he been doing the absolute most. So he goes to Bonita's house and she asked him to go to the bathroom because she wanna act like she Yvette and he Jody. Like, what we doing? Like, she was like, put your pants down so I can smell your dick. She said, why does it smell clean, bitch? Because he washed it. You probably washed it all off. It smelled good, don't it? I hate that movie. But I was like, Bonita girl, who told you that words? Who said that? Like, again, as I stated in the panel, and I'm going to state it here because I had put it in my notes. Send him to urgent care so he can get blood work, urine samples, swab tests. And I'm not talking about this. They're going to get in there and swab that thing. They're going to swab it, ma'am. And, and if you are sleeping with him without a condom, because chances are it's been 4 days and he been between you and Gigi, yeah. And if not, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, and another thing, really the main thing, your intuition is telling you that something ain't right. And if you have to continue to do all of this, then you know you shouldn't be with Damon. That's all. But I also feel like this is just for TV. This is just for drama's sake. So we just, it is what it is. So production panned into his pocket. And the first thing I said was, sir, where'd you get all that money from? And he's still lying to Bonita about his whereabouts. Anyway, she gave him the smash cake with some dicks in it. And I was like, girl, I thought that was hilarious. I didn't hear her tell him the EAD. Okay, but according to Mrs. Beth, shout out to her, because she said that's what Bonita told him when she gave him the cake with the hanging out. Okay, she used her merch, because y'all don't forget, Bonita sells on a stick. Okay, so she told him to go, okay, EAD. So in the next scene, Felicia and her friends. So we found out, oh yes, that's what I remember. Felicia has been working in the Superdome, and she was working with her dad. Let me say, y'all, I worked for the Superdome for quite some time. I worked for the Saints games. I worked for Essence. I remember I used to be the ticket person, so I had to check everybody's tickets. And I remember when I worked for Essence, I had first met Boris Kojo. And I met Anita Baker. I met so many people, but I just couldn't, do anything. And I remember, because I can't, they can't do nothing to me now. But, and these people don't know me, it was a long time ago. And so these black people, this was when Frankie Beverly used to play on, if you been to Essence and you know what Sundays was about, and you know why the aunties and uncles went to Essence and they had on all whites, that was Frankie, Beverly, and Maze. Everybody know that's how Essence ended, right? If you know, you know. If you went to Essence, it don't matter. You ain't got to be from New Orleans to know that. If you've been to Essence, if you know Essence, that's how Essence always ended, until I think he fell really, really sick. And so they was like, we need you to hold this spot for us. Like, they wanted me to do some legalities and all of that. And I was like, okay, I was young. I was in my 20s. Baby, when I tell you they passed me a little cashy cash, I was like, thank you. I mean, I could have gotten in trouble for it, but hell, it was the Superdome. I was a ticket looking out, because they wanted to bring some people up. I ain't care. That job was basically like event only. Okay? So they paid me some money on the side. Shout out to them people. I don't know them people, but I made me a little coin on the side. Okay? I don't even know when I left the job, but I did leave. So it was just like an event job. That's all. So shout out. Anyway, we found out that Rich actually ghosted Felicia. Folklock think that Rich is full of shit, and now Felicia wants to pull up on him. And I'm just looking at her like, girl, you sound crazy, and you let Folklock Jr. and your friends gas you up to want to drive all the way to Houston to pull up on Rich when he ghosted you, which means he don't want to be bothered with you. Because the truth of the matter is, Rich wanted some from you. You ain't give him none, and that was the real reason why he ghosted you. He already have women. He don't want you. Like, it is what it is. He already got his TV time from you. He probably got his little check, and that's it. Like, you just trying to do too much now, in my opinion. You and your family, which y'all are ghetto as fuck and trash, in my opinion. So we get to Kelly and Lori, the extreme trash of the trash. Lori feels like Mike don't have a right to kick her out. She said he's controlling and aggressive. Lori, you just want to come in Kelly's house and do what you want with no consequences. And you think you have squatters' rights since your daughter is a owner, or she pays the mortgage in the home. You've been able to come and do whatever you wanted to do, say whatever you wanted to say. But now, since Michael is out fully but not fully, you want to be able to come in and do whatever you want. So when Angel comes in, you can just say, this is my daughter's house, you can leave. You want to be able to have some type of hierarchy. Girl, go directly to hell. So Lori tells Kelly that she want to protect her. And Kelly tells her, you've never protected me, and now you want to wait until I'm 35 to protect me. And it's and the time for that has long passed. Girl, I was with Kelly. Even though I don't like her, I understood that. Because, girl, what is this? At the end of the day, you don't like Michael, and that's all it is. Like, just like Angel don't like Kelly. But the difference between Michael and Kelly is Kelly will say something to Lori, but Michael won't correct Angel. Because if I'm married, right, wrong, and indifferent, you not gonna speak about my wife or my husband. Because who the you talking to? Who you talking about? I don't give a fuck. Okay, I handle this shit at home. But I don't need you saying shit. Okay, that's why I'm not married. I'm not married because I like to be by myself. But anyway, so I felt like Lori was trying to manipulate her by saying, if you don't want me to protect you my way, then what do you want me to do? Kelly said, not a damn thing. Anyway, I feel like this is the problem because Lori didn't show love and affection to Kelly, like I guess when Kelly was growing up. And so now Kelly, what she does, she was like, she interprets that as, I'm going to be the best mom, I'm going to be the best person, and I'm going to be the person to show love. And what she's doing is pouring into these raggedy ass relationships and putting love into places where her love don't need to go. Like, you really should be loving yourself and your kids, and you're loving Michael and all of this other stupid ass shit, and you're self-abandoning, and I feel like in some ways you're abandoning your kids, if you ask me. And speaking of abandoning, let's talk about Dia and Cyrus. So Cassidy, Dia's 8-year-old, asked about I'm trying to be serious. Asked Cyrus about his loose teeth and the ones that are fake, and which ones are fake and which ones are real. I was like, first of all, Cassidy is the real MVP if you ask me. And she asked him what happened. I just want to go on the record to say I was wrong, because I thought Cyrus smoked them with the meth, okay? But somebody knocked them shits down his throat, okay? I don't know. But again, shout out to Lil Cassidy because she was the MVP. So Cyrus goes out and have a conversation with his mama, and I feel like she was blaming herself for trying to create, I guess, a better life for her and Cyrus, because Cyrus' daddy walked away from them. And she was, she was creating her a business, and she had to work a lot. His daddy decided he wanted to be David Copperfield, as a lot of them always do. And so because of that, I guess Cyrus started to get into a lot of things, and he knew that those things was wrong. And I'm not putting it solely on the father, and I'm not putting it solely on the mother. But something tells me because the dad left, the mom allowed Cyrus to do a lot, and she allowed him to get away with a lot because of mom guilt. So Cyrus' mama purchased the ring for him to give to Dia. He said that it was too soon and that he just got out. And so I was like, okay, there's some honesty, because if Dia was outside, she would have jumped to the chance. And if she would have known that Cyrus had that ring and not asked her, she would have been pissed off, because she's the type of hoe that just want to move fast. Like, I don't know. So Dia's mom asked, they went back in the house, and so they were taking shots. Dia's mom asked Cyrus if he likes to drink. Girl, the man just got out of jail, but she don't think he should be drinking in front of the grandkids, but everybody else can drink in front of your grandkids. Correct? Okay. I just kind of feel like now you're just picking because you don't like him. I get what you're trying to do, but now I feel like Dia's mom is just being an asshole just simply because you don't like him. It's not because you're trying to protect your daughter. I just feel like you just want to be an asshole. So then we get to Kirsten and Brady. We found out that his daughter has been sick for like 3 or 4 weeks. This whole Kirsten whole thing was canceling the room and not having a long time on her anniversary. Girl, you don't really with Corey like that. You just want the dad, and that's it. And so she tells him to go shoot hoops, and not once did you ask this man, was he okay and how was he feeling? Because somehow you made it about Kirsten. You made it about Kirsten. And you never actually checked on him. Even though I don't like Brady, but you still made it about you. So Kirsten, for me, you made the choice to marry Michael. I mean, Lord, you made a choice to marry Brady. This man, so I just feel like you don't get to get mad. You don't get to get mad because you're overwhelmed because you put yourself in this situation. When in reality, you're not mad for any of this. You're mad because you can't get up and down. That's the real problem. You a dumb asshole. When I tell you I do not like this lady, I do not like her at all. Back to demanding Bonita. My question for Bonita is, why are you allowing Demond to upset you like that? Demond is a liar, and he then decided he wanted to turn the situation around on Bonita. Bonita gives him the ring back. She tells him that the ring was fake. He threw the ring. She threw it at him. He threw the ring back at her. And it just is what it is at this point. So Michael gets back in the car with Vera DeMilo, a.k.a. Angel. So according to Michael, Kaylee didn't pay the fines. His credit score went from 700. It's now at 450 when it was initially at 700. Angel says that Kaylee is an idiot and she's just like her mom, and Michael is getting angry. And this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Yes, we know Kaylee is an idiot, but Michael, this is the problem. This is why Angel gets to talk to Kaylee and talk about Kaylee the way that she does, because you never say anything. I don't care what your wife did. Not a hoe in a mammy gonna talk about my wife like that. You never check your mom. Yeah, you might agree your wife is the most shittiest person in the world with that thick ass neck. Okay? But you, yeah. So we get back to Kirsten and Brady. And at this point, Brady seems like he's not listening to Kirsten. While I guess she's crying. I guess. And then we see pictures of her and Corey. And then there's a picture with her and Corey in a bikini. And Corey is straddled over her. And I was like, okay. And so they decided to make up. First of all, they get in, she gets her flowers, and what I think this is the point where she get her flowers, I want to say, and everything is all good now since she got her flowers. And so she gets into the room and she tells the kids, it's nap time. Why the you talking to these kids like that? So the little boy was like, I'm not ready to take a nap. And so what's his name? Brady was like, yes, you are. Nigga, Why is you talking to this woman's kids like that? And bitch, why is you allowing to let this man talk to your kid like this? So eventually the kids actually fell asleep at nap time or whatever. These two nasty assholes go to the vending machine, go on the side of the vending machine and begin to screw. I'm over it. Back to Felicia. Haley is pissing me off because isn't Felicia's mom and dad and Felicia criminals as well? Because y'all trying to make it seem like because Rich has some criminal background, some criminal history, he's just an ick. Y'all just picked this hoe up from prison. Anyway, Felicia, you can go to hell with that fake ass New Orleans accent. Girl, get the fuck. Because that bitch, y'all, when I tell y'all that hoe be pissing me off. Like, really be pissing me off because you want to be New Orleans so bad. You want to be New Orleans so bad. And the way I want to bad up his side of that hoe. And if you ain't from New Orleans, okay, that's what it is. I definitely want to bad up his side of that hoe. That's New Orleans. That's what Felicia be trying to give, girl. Sorry, y'all. She just work on my nerves. And that's what she be trying to do. And she just... That hoe give all the Arabic. Stupid hoe. Stupid ass. I'm sorry, y'all. She aggravates me. Little stupid ass. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I don't normally give New Orleans, but she okay. Anyway, the fact that you popping up on Rich is very pointless to me, and it says a lot about your character. She calls to ask him if she can come to Houston. He tells her that he's going to be training, and she feels away. But guess what she's going to do? She's going to carry her stupid ass out there to Houston. Like, why would you do that? But whatever. Kelly and Michael. So Michael tells Kelly he's been to the DMV because she's waiting on him to arrive so they can have their dinner date or whatever. And he was like, well, I've been to the DMV and you haven't paid the fines. And she said, well, I lied about the fines because he kept talking about it. And I was like, you weird, raggedy hoe. Like, why would you do that? Okay? And so he tells her about the money he saved up. And rightfully, I just feel like rightfully so, Kelly should be mad. Because all of this I done, and you hiding all of this money. And again, once again, Michael, if you knew Kelly was bad with money, you shouldn't have asked her for things. You shouldn't have put yourself in a position to depend nor rely on her. So I blame you. So Kelly is mad. And you was like, basically, she feels like she's in a hole with Michael because of him. No, you're in a hole with Michael because you wouldn't put your foot down. You wanted to show up as this woman who had it all together and can show him you can take care of him. You kept doing that. You failed to say no when he wanted the best of things instead of keeping it a buck and saying, hey, I can't take care of that. I'm sorry, I can't afford that. I have kids. Because you felt like at any point in time you said no, then that was going to be over. Because you have low self-esteem, and you probably figured, why would he want a fat ass like me, a fat thick ass like me, and you're a pretty lady. And you just have low self-esteem. And you just figure, why would he want somebody like me? So I have to do everything I can to keep him. And that's exactly what you did. And I feel like you low-key tried to buy Michael. And now all of this has caught up with you financially. Miss Financial Advisor. Okay? That's all I'm saying, girl. You have to do better. So we get to Dia and Cyrus. And they're all supposed to meet up for the the New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve fireworks celebration. And Dia and Cyrus shows up late, but the kids actually get to see it, but I guess they wanted to see it with their mom, but they're late, So Liz is making them not showing up on time a bigger deal than what it is. And of course, she rallies the family around, and I didn't like that. Liz, in my opinion, is doing too much, and she's telling Dia to put the kids first. And I'm like, how is she not putting the kids first by showing up late for this? The kids wanted to see it. They were able to see it. You were there with them to see it. So what's the problem? Anyway, she's telling Dia to put her kids first and choose wisely. Now, Dia got me when she said if she had to choose Cyrus and her mom, she would choose him. And I was like, you're gonna always be a stupid hoe. Anyway, one of the kids said in a card that Liz was in a bad mood. Nani was in a bad mood. And Cyrus said, don't worry about Nani. She was in a bad mood. And Cyrus said, well, you probably won't get to be around her in a while. Sir, you just got here. You don't get to make those type of decisions. And this hoe said absolutely nothing. Can y'all not do that? I do not care what society tells y'all, but can y'all not do that? Y'all are always willing to burn bridges for dick, and that shit pisses me off. Anyway, I don't even want to get started on that. Kelly and Michael. Kelly is ignoring Michael's calls. She knows that he has to get to the halfway house. And I was like, this was a bitch ass move, Kelly. Yes, you're mad about the money, but you are, again, as Angel said, you are definitely setting him up for failure. If you're mad about the money, be mad about that. But if it's time for him to report back and it's going to get him into trouble legally, and he ain't do nothing wrong, like to get into that type of trouble, then bring him back to the halfway house. Okay? Just be like, okay, I need time and space from you. Handle this shit like a grown ass woman. But you continuously want to handle shit like a child because you are a child. Like, he called his mom. His mom is an hour away. She tells him, and this is another issue. Every time there's a problem, you want to tell your mom everything. Then go lick your mom's coochie. Okay, because that's what she act like the fuck she want anyway. Alright? So, he calls his mother. Angel tells him, you demand, like basically you demand Kelly to come back. Angel, you need to stop telling your son to talk to this grown-ass woman as if she is his child. That is a problem that you seem to have, and that is a problem your son seem to have, that y'all don't know how to fucking talk to people. And if you ask me, you hoes teeth need to be back down y'all throat where y'all need to be walking around looking like Cyrus. I'm just saying. Baby, I could not. I do not like that. But Kelly, this was extremely too far. Then she tells Michael, oh, you can Uber. You don't need me. You have money. You can Uber. Again, this is resentment. You chose to spend all of your money on him. You chose this instead of saying, no, I can't do that. Instead of actually getting to know him, you jumped the gun and married him. You jumped the gun into this wife mode, and you felt like you needed to be super save a hoe for a nigga in jail. No ma'am. You don't get to be mad at nobody but yourself. Nobody. Anyway, Damon and Bonita. At this point, the mind has been kicked out. He still got these ladies stressing over him, and this is where the episode ended. Y'all have worked entirely on my nerves for this episode. Every last one of y'all. Okay? I would like to get a week off. Anyway, that's all I got. This is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and catch y'all in the next video. Bye.